What if I told you there is a financial product that lets you participate in market gains, but completely protects you from market losses? You're probably thinking, that sounds too good to be true. And honestly, that's a fair reaction because most things that sound that good in the financial world are too good to be true. But this one is real. It's called a fixed indexed annuity. And today I'm going to show you step by step exactly how it works, what the catch is, and whether it might belong in your retirement plan. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you're going to understand this product better than most people who've already bought one. Let's start from the very beginning. A fixed indexed annuity, or FIA, is a contract between you and an insurance company. You hand them a lump sum of money. In return, they make you three core promises. Promise number one, your principal is protected. The money you put in will never go backward due to market losses. That's guaranteed in the contract. Promise number two, your money has the opportunity to grow, and that growth is linked to the performance of a market index, like the S&P 500. Not invested in it, linked to it. That distinction matters a lot, and I'll explain it in just a moment. Promise number three, you have access to options that can generate guaranteed lifetime income, meaning income you literally cannot outlive no matter how long you live. Think of a fixed index annuity as sitting in the middle of the spectrum. On one end, you have a traditional fixed annuity, very safe but very low returns. On the other hand, you have a variable annuity, market exposed, which means you can gain but you can also lose. The fixed indexed annuity sits right in between. You get the protection of the fixed side with more growth potential linked to the market without actually being in the market. Now let's get into the engine room of this product, because this is where most people get confused, and it's where most explanations fall short. I want to walk you through exactly how your money grows inside an FIA, step by step. Step 1. Your money is not in the stock market. This surprises a lot of people. When you put money into a fixed index annuity, the insurance company takes that premium and invests it primarily in high quality bonds. That bond portfolio is what protects your principal. The index, the S&P 500, or whatever index you choose, is simply used as a measuring stick. It's a benchmark for calculating how much interest you earn. That's it. Step 2. Your growth is measured over a crediting period. The most common crediting period is 1 year. At the start of the year, the insurance company records where the index is. At the end of the year, they look at where it landed. That change in value is what determines your interest credit. Step 3. Your interest is subject to either a cap rate or participation rate. This is the part people need to understand clearly. A cap rate is a ceiling on how much interest can be credited in a given year. So if the S&P 500 goes up 14% and your cap is 8%, you get credited 8%. You did not get all 14%, but you got 8% completely protected. A participation rate works a little differently. Instead of a ceiling, it gives you a percentage of whatever the index gains. So if the S&P 500 goes up 12% and your participation rate is 50%, you get credited 6%. Now you might be thinking, why would I accept a cap or participation rate? Here's the answer. And this is the trade-off that makes the whole product work. Step 4. If the index goes down, you get 0, not negative, 0. This is the core of what makes an FIA unique. You get some of the upside in exchange for full protection on the downside. When the market drops 20%, 30%, or 40%, like what we've seen in 2001, 2008, and 2020, and 2022, your account value does not drop with it. you get credited 0 for that year, and 0 in those years is a very good number. In fact, there's a phrase I use with my clients: 0 is your hero. Step 5. Your gains lock in every year through what's called the annual reset. Once interest is credited to your account at the end of a crediting period, it's locked in. It becomes part of your new principal. The insurance company resets the starting point, and you begin the next year from your new higher balance. You never give back what you've earned. Now, here's where it gets really powerful for retirement income planning. Most FIAs give you the option to add what's called an income rider, sometimes referred to as a guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefit, or GLWB. This is an optional feature you can add to the contract, and it changes the game when it comes to creating predictable income in retirement. Here's how it works. When you add an income rider, the insurance company creates a second account value just for you. It's separate from your accumulation value, the money you can actually walk away with. The second value is called your benefit base, or your guaranteed income value. The benefit base grows at a contractually guaranteed rate, somewhere between 5% and 8% per year, regardless of what the market index does. It doesn't matter if the market is up, down, or sideways. The benefit base keeps growing on its own schedule. Now here's the important distinction. The benefit base is not a pile of cash you can take out in a lump sum. It's a calculation tool. It exists for one purpose: to determine how much guaranteed lifetime income you can receive when you're ready to turn it on. Let me walk you through a simple example so this is crystal clear. Say you put $300,000 into a fixed indexed annuity with an income rider at age 55. Your benefit base grows at 6% simple interest per year. You let it grow for 10 years without touching it. By age 65, your benefit base has grown to $480,000. At that point, you decide to activate your income. The insurance company locks in your benefit base of $480,000 and applies your payout rate. Let's say 5% for someone your age. That gives you $24,000 per year in guaranteed income every year for the rest of your life, even if your accumulation account eventually runs to 0. For my clients who are also thinking about Social Security planning and Medicare, this matters beyond just the income itself. Predictable guaranteed income gives you the ability to manage your provisional income and your modified adjusted gross income, which directly affects how much of your Social Security benefit is taxable and whether you'll face surcharges on your Medicare premiums. Knowing exactly what your income floor looks like is a starting point for all that planning. Now, I want to be straightforward with you because I think you deserve the full picture, not just the highlights. There are a few things you need to understand before you consider a fixed index annuity. First, surrender charges. FIAs are long-term contracts, typically with surrender periods of 7 to 10 years. If you need to withdraw more than the free withdrawal amount, which is usually around 10% of your account value per year, you'll pay a surrender charge. These products are designed for money you will not need immediate access to. They're not a substitute for your emergency fund. Second, caps and participation rates can change. The insurance company declares these annually. They are not locked in for the life of the contract. What they cannot do is go below the minimums that are guaranteed in your contract. But you should go in knowing that the rates you see on day one may adjust over time. Third, income rider fees. If you add a GLWB rider, there is typically an annual fee, often somewhere between 0.75% and 1.25%. That fee is charged against your accumulation value, not your benefit base. I always make sure my clients understand this up front so there are no surprises. Being informed about these points does not mean a fixed index annuity is a bad product. It means you're making an open-eyed decision with all the facts in front of you. And that's exactly the kind of decision you want to make. So, who is a fixed index annuity really designed for? It tends to be a strong fit for someone who's between 5 and 15 years from retirement or already retired. Someone who has lived through the market crashes of 2001, 2008, or 2022 and does not want to experience that kind of devastation again with money they simply cannot afford to lose. It's for someone who wants guaranteed income stream they cannot outlive, regardless of what happens in the market, regardless of how long they live, and regardless of what Washington does with Social Security. And it is particularly powerful for someone who is working with an advisor to manage Social Security taxes and Medicare costs, because guaranteed income gives you a foundation to plan around. When you know exactly what your income floor is, you can make smarter decisions about Roth conversions, when to claim Social Security, and how to keep your modified AGI below IRMA thresholds. Now, let me be clear about who this product is not the right fit for. If you need full liquidity with no restrictions, this is not your product. If you have a very long time horizon and a high risk tolerance and want to maximize market exposure, there may be better tools for that portion of your money. And if your entire retirement plan hinges on aggressive growth with no trade-offs, a fixed index annuity is probably not the right core strategy. The key is matching the right tool to the right money for the right purpose. Most of my clients do not put everything into an FIA. They use it to protect and grow the portion of their retirement savings that needs to be safe and reliable. Let's do a quick recap of what you now know. You know that a fixed index annuity is a contract that protects your principal, links your growth to a market index without putting your money in the market, and locks in your gains every year through the annual reset. Zero is your hero. You know that an income rider creates a separate benefit base that grows at a guaranteed rate and can generate guaranteed lifetime income, income you cannot outlive regardless of market performance. And you know the trade-offs, surrender periods, adjustable caps and participation rates, and income rider fees. No surprises, just a clear picture of how the product actually works. If you'd like to learn more, take a look at the free booklet called Retire Smart. It's linked on the page in the description box. And if this video gave you something to think about, do me a favor, hit subscribe. Every week I'm here breaking down the strategies that help real people retire with confidence and clarity. I'm Shonda Prescott, and this is Retirement Security Simplified, where we specialize in turning confusion into confidence, one conversation at a time.